Hello everyone, now we have to discuss Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. So why here I am considering both the theorems at a time here. If you know the concept of Thevenin's theorem, obviously you will know the concept of Norton's theorem. Why? Because Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem are mutually transferable. By using source transformation technique, we can get Norton's from Thevenin's circuit or Thevenin's from Norton circuit. So that's why here I am considering both the theorems at a time. Okay. So first I would like to discuss Thevenin's theorem with AC excitation. So the only difference between DC excitation versus AC excitation is what? Only we are dealing the circuit with respect to impedance, right? See, the Thevenin's theorem is changed only in the AC application to include the impedance instead of resistance, since the reactances of a circuit are frequency dependent, right? Because JXL or JXC, XL is always directly proportional to frequency, coming to XC in that which is inversely proportional to frequency. So which are frequency dependent. What are those? Those are nothing but reactances. Clear? Then the Thevenin circuit found for particular network is applicable only at specified frequency. Okay, this theorem could be applicable only at specified frequency. Coming to this, for dependent sources, how to calculate or how to implement this Thevenin's theorem? We all know that we have two methods, right, to calculate VOC. By using conventional method we can calculate a Thevenin's voltage, no problem at all. But coming to Thevenin's resistance, there are two methods, right? Simply we have to remove that load resistance and calculate VTH, and shorted that open circuit terminals, calculate ISC. RTH equals to what? VTH by ISC. So the same procedure could be applicable in this AC excitation also. See, for dependent sources, to calculate Thevenin's impedance, how to calculate that Thevenin's impedance? That is, there we have Thevenin's resistance, here we are dealing with respect to what? Thevenin's impedance. Okay. Method 1, remove load impedance and calculate VTH by conventional method, right? Remove load impedance and calculate VTH by conventional method of analysis, no problem at all. Then next, these terminals being shorted and then calculate ISC. So between open circuit terminals we have to calculate VOC, and between shorted terminals we have to calculate ISC. From this open circuit terminals we have to VOC, which is nothing but what? VOC. From this we can get ISC, right? Therefore, what is that? We can write Thevenin's impedance, which is equals to, we can call it as internal impedance, right? So ZTH, which is equals to Z internal, which is equals to what? Simply VOC by ISC. That's it. This is the formula for internal impedance or Thevenin's impedance. That's it. Okay, VOC by ISC. Next, method 2 is what? Remove load impedance and we have to provide a driving source voltage between those two open circuit terminals. So because of that driving source voltage, obviously we are having a source current. Then the ratio between driving voltage and this current is nothing but internal impedance, right? Here it is equals to what? V by I, right? Where we can write, where V, which is equals to VOC, that is which is equals to VTH, right? This is the formula to calculate, or this is the method to calculate Thevenin's impedance. So the same methods as we discussed in DC excitation. Okay. Then we have to get Thevenin's equivalent circuits now, right? We have to get Thevenin's equivalent circuits. Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Like that, we have to get Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay. See, coming to Thevenin's equivalent circuit, having VOC, right? Series connection of what? This is what? ZTH. This is what? VOC, right? That's it. This is Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Like that, coming to Norton's equivalent circuit, we have current source, right? In parallel with this is internal impedance. This is what? ISC, right? This is Norton's equivalent circuit. Then we can write some important observations here. VTH, which is equals to VOC, right? Like that, Norton's current, which is nothing but short circuit current, like that, VOC, which is equals to what? VTH, which is equals to what? Multiplication of Norton's current into Norton's resistance, or it should be, right? Then IN is what? Norton's current is equals to short circuit current, which is equals to VOC by, we can call it as ZTH, right? Where Norton's current, Norton's resistance, Norton's impedance, Thevenin's impedance, which is equals to internal impedance. These are the observations from this both Thevenin's equivalent circuit as well as Norton's equivalent circuits, right? Then we will discuss analysis with respect to Norton's theorem procedure, that is, do the same analysis as the Thevenin's theorem. On the other hand, where the network does have dependent sources, the way of finding the internal impedance of the network is same as the two methods which are described for Thevenin's network, right? Next, the Norton's and Thevenin's equivalent circuits can also be found from each other by using source transformation technique. Like Thevenin's equivalent circuit, Norton's equivalent circuit is applicable only on one frequency, since the reactances are frequency dependent, right? Only one frequency. This is very important observation. Now we have to discuss some problems. This is problem 1. See, find the Thevenin's equivalent across XY in figure, right? This is AC voltage source we are having impedance, and like this, in this we have capacitive impedance. So from this we have to calculate the Thevenin's impedance, that is, see, right, between these two we have to calculate VOC. See, by inspection, VTH, which is equals to VOC, which is equals to what? Here he provided the current through this branch. See, this is the impedance value, right? This is impedance, this is the current. So we total voltage across this X and Y is what? I into Z, right? I into, what is that? For example, 200, that is some value of impedance, right? 200 plus J200, that's it. This is the Thevenin's voltage. Means first we have to calculate the value of current. Obviously we will get the value of Thevenin's voltage, right? So from this, the value of current is what? I is equals to, how we can calculate? Total supply voltage current by is what? Z equivalent, right? So from this, I is equals to, V is what? 5 at an angle minus 30. Z equivalent is what? See, this minus J50 is connected in parallel with this. Sorry, here the current is what? In series with every branch, right? Because these two terminals are open circuited, means what? This is looks like simple loop circuit, okay? Means the impedance is what? 200 plus J200 minus J50, which is equals to 5 at an angle minus 30 by, this is what? 200 plus J150, right? Which is equals to what? 200 plus J150. From this, I is equals to what we are having? 0.02 at an angle minus 66.37 or 87 amperes, which is equals to what? 5 at an angle minus 30 by, this is 250 at an angle 36.87. So this is the current from this circuit, right? Next, what we are doing? Therefore, VOC is nothing but what? 0.02 at an angle 66.87 into 200 plus J200. So VOC, which is equals to 0.02 minus 66.87 into, this is what? 282.45. Tan inverse 200 by 200 is nothing but what? Obviously 45 degrees. So from this, VOC is what? From this we got open circuit voltage, which is nothing but VTH, which is equals to 5.66 at an angle minus 21.87. This is the value of Thevenin's voltage. This is the value of Thevenin's voltage. Clear? Then we have to calculate ZTH, right? That is next. Thevenin's impedance. ZTH is nothing but what? So to calculate ZTH, we have to short this voltage source. So after shorting this voltage source, this branch is connected in parallel with this branch, right? By looking between these two terminals, this branch is connected in parallel with this branch, right? Therefore ZTH is what? We are having say 200 plus 200, which is multiplied by minus J50 by, finally we have what, 200 plus J200 minus J50, right? Both are connected in parallel. From this we can get 8 minus J56 ohms. From this ZTH is equals to, this is what rectangular form, after converting it into polar form 56.57 we got at an angle minus 81.87 ohms. This is the value of Thevenin's impedance. So we got Thevenin's resistance and Thevenin's impedance. Therefore Thevenin's equivalent circuit is we have a voltage source, right, in series with the impedance, right? This is X, this is Y, this is VTH, this is what, ZTH. We know that VTH is what, which is equals to 5.66 at an angle minus 21.87 volts. Like that ZTH is equals to what, 56.57 at an angle minus 81.87 ohms. These are the answers from this. Okay, this is problem 1. Next we will consider the same problem and do the analysis with respect to Norton's theorem, right? What is the circuit? You all know that circuit is what, sorry, we have impedance branch and a resistive branch, right? This is X, this is Y. Yeah, so from this is what, voltage which is equals to 5 at an angle minus 30 volts, and this is what, minus J50, this is J200, this is 200 ohms, right? That's it. So from this we can calculate Norton's equivalent. So first one, ISC. First we have to calculate ISC, right? That is, to calculate ISC, we have a branch, yeah, this is minus J50, J200, 200, this is the supply voltage V. So this is X, this is Y. Simply we have to shorted these terminals, right? That's it. This is ISC. So after shorting these terminals, there is no use of this branch, right? Because the current is taken this path, right? So like this, the current has taken this path. There is no use of this branch now, right? Therefore, ISC, which is equals to what? Total voltage by minus J50 only, right? Which is equals to what? ISC, which is equals to, we all know that this is 5 at an angle minus 30, 5 or 50? Yeah, 5. This is what? 50 at an angle minus 90, which is equals to what? 0.1 at an angle 60 degrees, right? ISC is what? 0.1 at an angle 60 degrees. This is the value of ISC. Next, we have to calculate internal, that is Z internal, which is equals to ZTH, which is equals to Norton's impedance. As we calculated, the value of Z internal is what? 56.57 at the rate of minus 81.87. At the rate of minus 81.87 degrees ohms, right? We have ISC and ZTH. Therefore, Norton's equivalent circuit is what? We have a current source, right? From this, this is X. To the left of XY, we have Norton's equivalent. This is Z. That's it. This is Norton's equivalent circuit, right? So from this, you have to verify the answers. Verification. We all know that VOC, which is equals to what? ISC into Zn, right? Which is equals to, what is the value of ISC? We got 0.1 at an angle 60 degrees, right? Into Zn is what? 56.87 at the rate of minus 81.87, right? So which is equals to what? 5.68 at the rate of minus 21.87 volts. This is the value of VTH, right? See, can we check? 5.6 at the rate of minus 21.8. See, 5.6 at the rate of minus 21.8. The answers are verified. Next, we will discuss second problem, that is find Thevenin's equivalent across load. Yeah, this is dependent, voltage dependent voltage source, right? The controlling variable is V1. In this branch, we have the controlling variable. Yeah, simple problem. What we are doing first? Remove load, and calculate VTH. That's it. This is the first step, right? Then after removing the load, this looks like what? Simple loop circuit. By applying KVL, what we are having? Minus 10 at an angle 30 degrees plus 0.5 V1 plus again V1, which is equals to 0, right? Therefore, 1.5 V1, which is equals to 10 at an angle 30 degrees. We all know that V1, which is equals to 10 by 1.5 at an angle 30. V1, which is equals to what? We got 6.67 at the rate of 30. We know that this is what? after removing this branch, between these two we have what? Open circuit voltage, right? Which is equals to what? VTH, which is equals to VOC, which is equals to V1, right? Which is equals to 6.67 at the rate of 30 degrees. That's it. So we have open circuit voltage of 6.67 at the rate of 30 degrees. Next, we have to get the value of ZTH. To get ZTH, voltage source is shorted, right? That is we are having the circuit. This is dependent plus minus. We are having a branch. This is shorted. What is the circuit? Yeah. So this is the value of voltage source, that is 0.5 V1. This is V1 plus minus. So here these two terminals are shorted. Obviously there is no use of this, right? The current is like this. The current has taken the path like this. So V1 is equals to 0, which implies what? The value of dependent source. So 0, right? Therefore, what about ISC? Therefore, ISC, which is equals to what? Total voltage by 0, which is equals to what? Infinite value of current. So ISC is what? Infinite. What is the basic reason for this? Because the circuit is having nothing impedance in every branch, since there is no other impedance, right, in the loop. That's why ISC is equals to infinite. Clear? Then next we have to calculate the value of, which is equals to what? VOC by ISC, which is equals to, what is the value of VOC? We have some value, right? But coming to ISC, which is equals to infinite, finally we have what? ZTH, which is equals to 0 ohms. See, ISC is infinite, ZTH is what? 0 ohms. Therefore, Thevenin's equivalent circuit is what? This is VOC or VTH is shorted. Actually we are having ZTH, right? This is the Thevenin's. Sorry, we are connecting a load now. Before that, here I am providing ZTH is equals to 0 ohms. Now the load is what? Reconnect the load as it is. That's it. This is the load. This is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. That's the problem. Next problem is, this is GATE 2013 problem. In the circuit shown below, if the source voltage is 100 at an angle 53.13 volts, then the Thevenin's equivalent voltage in volts as seen by the low resistance RL is what? Simple problem. See, means what? Across this RL we have to calculate VOC, right? Means there is no use of this RL right now. Means we have to remove this load branch and calculate open circuit voltage. That's it, right? So before that, first we have to calculate C. From this, by inspection you can observe that here I1, VL1 is nothing but what? IXL, right? I1 into J4 is nothing but VL1. Like that, here we have I2. So, but this is the variable of this current dependent voltage source, right? See, here we have what? 40 I2, right? Here we have 40 I2. This is the current controlled voltage source. But here the I2 is what? Variable for that current. So, this loop 1 and loop 2 are dependent with each other. Okay. So, from this we can write, this is very important problem. From loop 1, that is, we can get Vs which is equals to 3I1 plus VL1 plus 40I2, right? This is the value of voltage in, but we know that Vs is equals to what? 100 at an angle 53.13 given as like this, and we know that VL1 is nothing but I1 into J4, right? I1 into J4, simple IXL. Okay, this is 1. Next, from loop 2, because this is open circuited, by inspection we can say I2 is equals to 0. Since what is the reason? Load is removed. That's why I2 is equals to 0. If I2 is equals to 0, obviously, therefore, VOC which is equals to what? 10 VL1, right? This is very, very important observation. Right? See, if we can calculate the Thevenin's equivalent circuit between these two open circuit terminals, right? That is, after removing this load resistance, these two terminals are open circuited. If these two terminals are open circuited, obviously the total voltage which appears between these two terminals is nothing but what? 10 VL1, right? This 10 VL1 is nothing but VTH when these two terminals are open circuited. That's it. By inspection we can say this Thevenin's voltage is equals to 10 VL1. Why? Because when it is open circuited, the current through the branch is 0. I2 is equals to 0. Therefore, we can substitute that I2 in equation 1, right? That is, equation 1 is what? 3I1 plus VL1 plus 40I2. That is, therefore, from equation 1, what we have? 3I1 plus 4I1 plus VL1 plus 4I2. But I2 is equals to 0, right? Know that this I2 is equals to 0. Therefore, Vs which is equals to 3I1, but coming to VL1 which is equals to what? I1 into J4, right? So from this, Vs is what? Vs is what? 100 at an angle 53.13, right? 100 at an angle 53.13, which is equals to 3 plus J4 into I1. That's it. So from this, 100 at an angle 53.13 means what? You can write 100 cos 13 is j sine, right, which is equals to 3 plus j4 into I1. From this we can get 100.6 plus j 0.8, 3 plus j4 I1, which is equals to what? 60 plus IT, which is equals to 3 plus j4 I1, that is, if we common 20, which is equals to 3 plus j4 into I1. So from this I 3 plus j4, 3 plus j4 gets common, therefore I1, which is equals to what? 20 at an angle 0 amperes. This is the value of current I1, right? Then we have to calculate Thevenin's voltage, right? What is the Thevenin's voltage? 10 VL1. Therefore VTH, which is equals to VOC, is equals to what? 10 VL1. VL1 is what? 10 into say I into 4, sorry, I1, right? So VTH, which is equals to 10, so J, okay, into I1 is what? 20 at an angle 0, which is equals to 4. So from this VTH, which is equals to 800 J, that is VTH, which is equals to 800 at an angle 90 degrees volts. This is very, very important problem. This is the problem which is asked in GATE 2013 for 2 marks. Yeah, this is the answer, right? That's it. This is about Thevenin's and Norton's theorem.